So you've Googled, what am I passionate about, at least 3 times this week, and you still haven't found the answer.
Today, we're talking about picking a career or a major in university when you're not passionate about anything. I'm not going to tell you to follow your heart or your passion because we both know that doesn't work for us. What works for those of us who are highly intelligent but not necessarily passionate about anything is to know the practical steps to actually choose what we want to do. These are going to be 4 practical steps to actually know what career path you want to be on or what you want to study at university, and 2 mindset shifts you need to make that happen. If you do all of these things, I guarantee you will stop feeling anxious, confused, and like you're just flapping in the wind. And most importantly, you will stop Googling, who am I? At 3 a.m. I know these things work because I'm a third year PhD student. I'm a published academic. I have a good sense of where I'm going and who I am. And some of you have reached out to me via the comments or on LinkedIn to ask me precisely these questions. The first thing I want you to do is to start from interest, not passion. Interest. Here's the difference. Passion is this big, all-consuming feeling you're supposed to have. Interest is just when I hear this topic, when I hear this issue, I lean in a bit more. I'm more inclined to listen. So get a piece of paper, write down every issue, every topic that when you hear, you're more inclined to listen better. You're more inclined to lean in. Don't try to filter it. Don't try to, make it perfect. For me personally, my list goes from why did Offset cheat on Cardi B to the institutionalization of deliberative democracy or critical AI governance. There's absolutely no pattern whatsoever, and that's the entire point. So pause the video here and make this list and then replay the video so we can continue. So now that you have your list, the next thing you want to think about is, where do I want to go? And I know you're thinking, but Precious, I don't know where I want to go. And that's fine. It can be vague. I personally only know the sectors I want to work in: academia, politics, NGOs. I have no idea exactly what I will be doing in these places, and that's enough to work with for now. Think of it like driving a car at night, right? When there's no street light, because sometimes if you drive at night in Belgium, there's no street light, right? And you only have the light of your car. You can't see the entire road, but you can see just far ahead enough to keep going. This is important because if you don't even have a vague idea of where you want to go, every option looks good to you, and this is why you're paralyzed. If you're still here, it means you like this video and you're enjoying it. So please actually like the video and subscribe to join the community. Thank you. So now that you have a vague sense of where you want to go and the topics and issues that interest you, and this is important because this is what nobody talks about, you need to then figure out what you can actually do. Contrary to what your mom might have told you, you cannot do everything, right? Nobody can do everything. And that's not a problem, that's a filter because it helps you choose. So for me personally, if someone will mention, say, I don't know, quantum engineering, for instance, I might listen a bit more because I'm intrigued by that. But I know I don't have the capacity to study quantum engineering. I don't know how to do math. Even 2 plus 2, I'm not sure I know the answer to that. But jokes aside, you need to actually focus on, what can I do? What are my strengths? So in my case, I know that when people mention issues of, say, politics, African politics, even Belgian politics, inequality, injustice, I lean in a bit more. I'm more inclined to listen, right? And I have this vague idea of the sectors I can end up in, like I already mentioned, right? And so I know that what I can actually do are, studies or courses that have to do with politics, with, say, international relations, public administration, as I'm doing now, law, for instance. And so you're looking for where these 3 things actually converge, right? What topics actually pull you in, where you see yourself going, even vaguely, even just like this is kind of the kind of sectors I feel like I could end up in, and what you're actually capable of, what your capacity or capacities are. And then the next thing you want to do is to give yourself a deadline to decide. And this is not because, a decision is final, but because when you don't decide or when you don't have a deadline to make a decision, then you stay paralyzed. You stay overthinking. You stay Googling, who am I at 3 a.m.? So what you need to do is to pick a direction and adjust as you go along. So to go back to the car metaphor, right? You cannot steer a car that's parked. The car needs to be in motion for you to be able to change directions and steer the car. So for me, those are the 4 steps and things that really helped me, pick a career path and pick what I wanted to study at university. Because like you, I'm not necessarily passionate about any specific issue or any specific thing, but I'm very intelligent and I'm very competent, right? But before I let you go, there are also 2 mindset shifts that need to happen in order to make everything really stick. The first thing I think is to change how you think about the degree you choose. Your degree is not your career. It is a tool that helps you get the career. So you don't have to become a politician because you study politics. You don't have to be a lawyer because you studied law. You can always change and shift as you go along. For instance, my sister studied nursing and she's now a fashion designer. Those are 2 completely different things. And this is the issue because a lot of us are paralyzed because we're thinking in terms of perfection. How do I pick the perfect degree? How do I pick the perfect career path? Oh my God, I don't want to make a mistake. I'm going to waste this many years. As long as you have the degree, right? That if that's something you want, because not everybody wants or needs a degree, of course. But if you want to pick a degree, as long as you have that degree, it is a tool and you can always shift, you can always change paths as you go along. So instead of thinking in terms of, perfection, start thinking in terms of like, what are the next concrete steps that I can actually take to move forward? And finally, trust yourself, right? Trust that whatever decision you make is the right one for you because you're basically making these decisions based on the information that you have right now, right? And that information is not perfect. Because I don't know about you, this is my first time of being here. But jokes aside, if you're the first one in your family to go to university or you're the first one in your circle who is choosing a certain path, then there is no blueprint, right? You have to figure things out as you go along. You're essentially sort of blindfolded and failing in the dark. And that's not a problem. That's not an issue. That's not a weakness. It is your strength. And just trust yourself. You got this. So you came here because you were feeling anxious, confused, maybe a little lost. And I hope that with these tips, you're actually leaving with a starting point. Let me know in the comments what interests were on your list, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.